My name is Margaret. I'm 62 years old. For 30 years, I worked as a housekeeper, 5 in the morning until 8 at night. Even when my back ached, even when my wrists throbbed, I kept working. That's how I saved enough money to buy this 3-bedroom condo. When my son got married and my granddaughter was born, he asked me to move in with them. I thought living together in a nice big place would make us all so happy. So I welcomed my son's family into this home. My home, in my name. The very first day they moved in, my daughter-in-law handed me a piece of paper. It said Household Chores Division at the top, but next to my name, the entire checklist. Cleaning, laundry, cooking, dishes, childcare. She smiled and said it just made sense. Since I'd be home anyway, I could handle the household duties. My son nodded in agreement. I just said okay. That was the beginning. The start of 5 long years of being invisible. My day starts at 5 in the morning. First, I pack my granddaughter's lunch. It has to have variety. At least 7 different items, arranged nicely so she can show her friends. Then my son's lunch. Nothing spicy, nothing fishy, exactly how he likes it. My daughter-in-law's salad comes next. Low calorie, cherry tomatoes only. Dressing on the side. Everything has to be ready by 6:30. Before the family wakes up, breakfast must appear on the table like magic. At 7, they start coming out, one by one. My granddaughter drinks her milk. My daughter-in-law eats her salad. My son reads the paper while having his meal. I hover around them, ladling soup, refilling dishes, pouring water. After breakfast comes the dishes, helping my granddaughter get ready for school, tying her shoes at the door, waving goodbye. By the time everyone leaves, it's 8 o'clock. That's when I get ready myself. I still work as a housekeeper for other families. After cleaning my own house, it's time to clean someone else's. I work until 2 in the afternoon. Then I rush back to pick up my granddaughter from school at 2:30. I wait at the school gate, and she runs over with her heavy backpack. At home, I prepare her snack, help with homework, play with her. Before I know it, it's 5 o'clock. Time to start dinner. What should I make tonight? My son can't handle spicy food. My daughter-in-law avoids anything greasy. My granddaughter won't touch vegetables. I have to please 3 different palates. I spend 2 hours in the kitchen. 8 o'clock. After dinner comes more dishes, bathing my granddaughter, putting her to bed. By then it's past 9. Finally, I can shower and lie down. This was my day. Every single day. The exact same routine. One evening, my outside job ran late. I got home at 7. As I opened the door, I felt my daughter-in-law's cold stare.
What about dinner? We're hungry. Your granddaughter's been waiting.
My son chimed in too.
Mom, we're working people. You need to be more reliable with timing.
I apologized. Then I rushed to make ramen. That night, I cried into my pillow for a long time. That winter, I caught the flu. My whole body shook, and my head felt like it would split open. The thermometer read 103 degrees. I thought I might collapse, but I still had to get up. My granddaughter's lunch, breakfast for everyone. My hands trembled as I rolled kimbap. My vision blurred, my ears rang, but I couldn't stop. As my daughter-in-law left for work, she said I looked pale, then immediately asked if I'd still be able to manage dinner. I nodded. After they left, I collapsed on the sofa. I stayed there for 3 days, sick and alone. I bought my own medicine, made my own porridge, endured the pain by myself, but I still prepared dinner every single night. After the flu passed, my back started hurting terribly. 30 years of cleaning other people's homes, 5 years of cleaning my own. My spine had given out completely. The doctor said 3 of my discs had herniated. I needed surgery. I came home and carefully told them I'd need back surgery next week. Do you know what my son's first response was? He asked what we'd do about the housework while I was gone. My daughter-in-law looked worried too.
What about picking up our daughter from school? Should we arrange for the after-school van?
Nobody asked if I was in pain, if the surgery would go well, if I was scared. The day of surgery approached. The night before, I filled the refrigerator with prepared meals, enough for a week. I prepped ingredients for my granddaughter's lunches and wrote out recipes, taping them to the fridge. The morning of my surgery, the house was empty. My son had left on a business trip the day before. My daughter-in-law had an important meeting and left early. My granddaughter was at school. I took a taxi alone. The driver asked if I had anyone coming with me. I smiled and said I was fine on my own. At the hospital, I filled out the emergency contact form. Guardian's name, relationship, phone number. I wrote self in those blanks. The surgery went well. When I woke from anesthesia, only a nurse was there. I stared at the ceiling and thought, I really am completely alone. I spent 3 days in the hospital. On discharge day, I took another taxi home alone, wearing my back brace. When I arrived, my daughter-in-law greeted me warmly, then carefully asked how much the hospital bill was. She was worried I'd need to get back to work soon, and what was for dinner tonight. That day, I cooked dinner wearing my back brace. Standing at the stove grilling meat, I started crying, not from physical pain. I cried because I felt so utterly worthless. That night, I got up to use the bathroom and passed through the dark living room. The lights were off, but I heard voices. My son and daughter-in-law talking. I stopped walking. My daughter-in-law said that honestly, they'd be so much freer without me.
The childcare was helpful, but I was too intrusive.
My son agreed.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should look into assisted living facilities.
In that moment, I understood. I wasn't family in this house. I was just a convenient tool. A few days later, my daughter-in-law showed me her phone. Photos of a resort in Hawaii. A beautiful beachfront property. They were planning a family vacation. 4 days and 3 nights. I got excited and said I'd need to start packing too. It had been so long since I'd traveled. My daughter-in-law's expression froze. After a long pause, she said carefully that I wouldn't be coming on this trip. Just the three of them were going. Just the three of them? Wasn't I family? My son added,
Mom, this time we want to go just us. Our daughter said she wants a trip with just her parents.
My granddaughter said that. Without Grandma. I said, okay. Have a wonderful time. I smiled when I said it, but the moment they turned away, tears streamed down my face. During the week they prepared for the trip, I helped them. I assisted my daughter-in-law with packing, washed and folded my granddaughter's vacation clothes, filled the refrigerator with prepared meals. On departure morning, I saw them off at the door. Have a safe trip. Take lots of pictures. Enjoy yourselves. I waved and smiled until they disappeared from view. As soon as the elevator doors closed, I sank to the floor. For the first time, I was alone. Just me in this big condo. It was so quiet. No lunches to pack. No meals to prepare, nothing to clean up. There was absolutely nothing I had to do. That day, for the first time in my life, I slept until 2 in the afternoon. I woke up, made coffee slowly, and stared out the window. When had I ever sat so peacefully? Then I looked at my phone. My daughter-in-law had posted photos on social media. Airport selfies from Hawaii. 3 people, all smiling brightly. My son, my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter. They looked so happy. They really did. I scrolled down. More photos appeared. Beach photos, restaurant photos, cafe photos, all 3 of them together, perfect family pictures. But in those photos, I wasn't there. That's when it hit me. They're happy without me, maybe even happier without me. That night, I pulled out my bank statements. 30 years of savings. Even after buying this condo, I had quite a bit left. Money I earned. Money I saved through my labor. Through destroying my back. I looked at the property deed. This condo was in my name. Margaret Anderson. Entirely my home. I made a decision. I needed to stop living for others. Time to live for myself. Act 4. The 72-hour escape. The next morning, I went to a real estate office. I wanted to sell the condo. How quickly could it be done? The agent looked surprised.
A quick sale?
I nodded. I wanted everything settled while my family was on vacation. I listed it $50,000 below market value, on the condition that we close within 3 days. The agent brought buyers the very next day. A young couple looking for their first home. My hand trembled as I signed the contract, but I had no regrets. I went home and started packing. Sorting through 30 years of possessions took longer than expected. Deciding what to discard, what to keep. I didn't touch my son's family's belongings. Clothes, books, toys, dishes. I arranged everything neatly in one area. I only packed my things. I was surprised how little I owned. A few outfits. 1 set of bedding, some photographs. That was all. 30 years in this place, and these were my only traces. While packing, I searched for rentals on my phone. I found a nice small apartment in a coastal town in Oregon, just 800 square feet, but with an ocean view. Looking at the photos made me cry. What would it be like to live there? To see the ocean every morning, take walks, live on my own schedule, without watching anyone's reactions. I called and signed the lease, sight unseen. I also looked into adopting a dog. I'd wanted one my whole life. My son always said no to pets. Too dirty, too smelly. A white Maltese. In the photo, she looked at me with dark, gentle eyes. I decided to name her Daisy. I scheduled the moving truck for the day my family returned. The night before they came home, I prepared one last dinner with care. My son's favorite short ribs, my daughter-in-law's favorite salad, my granddaughter's favorite mac and cheese. I filled the refrigerator with side dishes too. On the dining table, I left a note. Thank you for everything. A short sentence, but the only goodbye I could manage. The day my family returned arrived. I got a text saying they'd left the airport. I did a final check. My belongings were packed. The moving truck was waiting outside. I changed the door code. To my birthday, the doorbell rang. I opened the door. My son's family stood there with their rolling suitcases, gift bags, bright faces. They looked confused. The door code hadn't worked. My son asked why I changed it. I didn't answer. I just opened the door wide. They stepped into the living room and froze. Empty shelves. Packed boxes in the entryway. The moving truck visible outside. My daughter-in-law's voice trembled.
Margaret, what is all this?
I said calmly. I sold the condo. The new owners move in next week. My son shouted.
What? You're joking, right?
I shook my head. No, it's my condo in my name. I can do what I want with it. My granddaughter started crying.
Grandma, where are you going?
I knelt to meet her eyes. Grandma's going to her own place, somewhere by the ocean. My son approached.
Mom, what happened? Why are you doing this all of a sudden?
And then everything I'd held back for 5 years came pouring out. I'm not your housekeeper. When I had a 103-degree fever, you worried about dinner. When I needed back surgery, you worried about housework. I went to the hospital alone, came home alone, suffered alone. You went to Hawaii, the 3 of you. I saw all those photos. You looked so happy. But in those pictures, I wasn't there. My daughter-in-law tried to explain.
Margaret, that was...
I raised my hand to stop her. Save it. I don't want to hear excuses. I'm going to live my own life now. For the first time in 62 years, my son's voice broke.
Mom, we were wrong. Please reconsider.
I shook my head. Son, have you ever thought about it? Really thought about me? That I hurt too. That I need rest. That I want time to myself? You went to Hawaii. Why didn't you take me? I'm family too. I wanted to see the ocean, eat good food, travel too. My son had nothing to say. He couldn't respond. The movers came in. It was time to go. I looked at my family one last time. Take care. Take care of each other. The way you treated me all these years. Then I turned away. Behind me, my son called out.
Mom! Mom!
But I didn't look back. I got into the truck. The driver started the engine. Through the window, the apartment building faded into the distance. The place I'd lived for 5 years. A place that never felt like home. I wiped my tears. Not because I was sad. I cried because I felt relieved. I arrived at my new place. It was a small apartment, but when I opened the window, could see the ocean. The Pacific Ocean. I stood at the window for a long time, just watching the water. This is my home now, entirely my space. The next day, I picked up Daisy, a white Maltese with dark, gentle eyes. Even though we just met, she ran to me wagging her tail. I held Daisy and cried for a long time. For the first time, I felt like I had my own family. My mornings changed. I don't have to wake anyone up. No lunches to pack, no meals to prepare. I just wake up when my eyes open. I open the window. The ocean breeze comes in. Daisy wags her tail, asking for a walk. We walk along the beach together, listening to the waves, feeling the sand beneath my feet, walking with no particular thoughts. No one to watch, no one's schedule to match. When we get home, I eat breakfast slowly. Whatever I want. Sometimes porridge, sometimes toast, sometimes just fruit. No one says anything. In the afternoon, I tend my little garden. I planted lettuce, tomatoes, and peppers. Just enough for me. Dinner is simple. Sometimes I make ramen. Sometimes I buy a sandwich. The dishes are done quickly. At night, I watch TV with Daisy. The dramas I wanted to watch. The movies I wanted to see. No one changes the channel. The remote is mine. I read books too. The ones I bought long ago but never read. I have plenty of time now. About 3 months had passed when the doorbell rang. I opened the door, and my son stood there. He looked terrible, thinner, unshaven, his clothes wrinkled. His voice trembled as he spoke.
Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm truly sorry. Living without you, we finally understood how hard it was. How much you did for us. Please come back. This time, it'll be different. I promise we'll take care of you properly.
I shook my head. Son, do you know what real devotion is? It's you taking care of each other, supporting each other, looking after each other, loving each other. Real devotion isn't depending on your mother. It's thriving without her. My son cried, but I didn't waver. I'm going to live my life now. No more taking care of everyone else. No more watching everyone's reactions. No more adjusting to everyone's schedules. Let's each live happily. That's what's best for all of us. I closed the door. My son stood outside for a long time, but I didn't open it again. That night, holding Daisy, I looked at the ocean. I had no regrets. Not for a single second. Now I'm happy. I wake up and see the ocean, walk with Daisy, tend my garden, read books, watch TV, and sleep on my own schedule. I'm not someone's mother or grandmother. I'm just Margaret. This is my real life, found at age 62. Remember this, all of you. Your life belongs to you. Sacrificing yourself for others isn't a virtue. Loving yourself is the real virtue. They say the best time to start is when you think it's too late. I started at 62. When will you start?